Well, good evening. If you could find your way to your seat, we're really excited to get to start our very first ever signing day at Casteel High School. I'd like to welcome a few very special guests that we have in attendance today. We have Mr. Frank Fletcher from the district office here. Thank you for being here, Frank. We have Dr. Camille Casteel, her husband Tom, and her granddaughter Brittany Moore here in attendance. And I know she probably doesn't want to be recognized, but all of this wouldn't have happened without the help of Jen Pugh. Jen, where are you at? Take a bow. To start tonight, we are very pleased to have the Basha Color Guard and the singing of our national anthem by Tyler Christensen. If you could please stand for the singing of our national anthem by Mr. Christensen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Ready? Wait! Forward, march!
Thank you, Tyler. That was quite excellent. Special thank you again to the Basha High Color Guard for coming out and making that a special moment. At Casteel High School, we stress the 3 C's for every student: courage, character, and commitment. And we are very pleased tonight to be able to celebrate where that courage, character, and commitment has brought 5 of our athletes today. Senior year is about not only looking forward to where those 3 C's will take you, but where you've been today. And we are so pleased to be able to have you here tonight with all of our family members and our friends and staff to celebrate where you're going to go in the future. To start off tonight's activities, I have Mr. Ryan Reidenhauer, our athletic director, to start us off. Mr. Reidenhauer.
First off, I want to say thank you all for being a part of tonight. Tonight's a special night as, 5 of our student athletes have blazed the trail, starting from all the way in the beginning 4 years ago to the point they're at now where they're all going off to college because they've done things at an incredible rate, been athletic, set memories, set milestones, set the bar for kids from now into the future, athletically and academically, and it's proven tonight as they're all going to sign a letter of intent moving forward. Before we begin, I do want to, we've got a short video that we've put together for the young men and women that are going to be signing tonight. This, to me, was the highlight of this, putting this together. I got a chance to sit with mom and dad and the coaches of each of these young student athletes, and it was incredible to watch the emotion and the passion that goes into putting a 18-year plan together that comes together in a culminating moment like this as they move forward. We can show the video.
It was our Horizon game. It was one of our first drives in the game, and he was making some great decisions in there. And he made a decision to pull the ball and take off running. First time I've seen him do that in 2 years. And I had told him that week that you have speed too. And he pulled that ball and took off for 30 yards and outran the safeties and the corners and all that stuff. And he was shocked in the end zone, but it looked great. And it was a leader leading his team down the field and for victory. It was great to see.
My favorite memory would be winning probably the state championship. But I did love basketball, even though he never shot the ball. And it was driving us crazy, but probably the state championship would be my favorite.
After winning the state championship game, getting to hand the ball to Miss Lundberg, I think that was a really special time for Gunner, and it meant a lot. And that the team had set out to do that, and to finally be able to do it was a big deal. So I think that's awesome. The one that's going to stand out.
Without a doubt, it was a really special moment for everybody.
It was.
Yeah, you got to be a leader. Step out in faith, and have the courage to talk to all your teammates, regardless of whether they're older than you or where they're from in the country. Remember, you're a player too. You got some great habits, great values, and those values will help guide you through. Remain grounded no matter what happens, and in your college career, no matter what happens in games, good, bad, or ugly. And stay focused on your mission. You'll get there.
I know you'll do great, Gunner, because you've always been a superstar, but we're so proud of you, and we're always your biggest fans.
Well, son, like I told you, the greatest gift I thought I could ever give you was to believe in you. And I have always believed in you, and I still believe in you, and I will always believe in you. Thank you for the past 4 years.
The one thing that really surprises me is she doesn't put roadblocks in front of herself. If she wants to try something, she just goes and tries it.
She's very driven to get to the next level in athletics, and so she took a sport that isn't particularly popular, not a lot of rowing in the desert, of course, and she made it her own.
So Cassie, I am incredibly proud of you. You made it. You are going to a D1 Pac-12 school. You set your mind to it and you achieved it. I'm very, very proud of you.
Very, very proud of you, Cass. You have just done a remarkable thing, and we're very diligent and persistent in your efforts, and you understand the meaning of hard work, because there's a lot of effort involved in this endeavor.
I am proud of you. I love you. And don't ever, ever let anyone dull your sparkle. You keep shining, honey. Love you.
Pretty much every day with Max is special. So probably my favorite memory about Max is the first time he threw somebody out behind the plate. The big grin he got of actually accomplishing that.
The coaches, the staff, the support that these students and kids get is amazing.
You know, he's grown up quite a bit. Being a leader on the team has helped. You know, having a pretty good relationship with Matt has helped. You know, he's learned how to speak to adults. He's learned how to deal with adversity a little bit. You know, there's been a little, and just everything that we've ever worked on, he's starting to show. You know, that we're starting. That maybe we did a good job.
Max, wish you the best. Stay warm, and we'll miss you.
Max, we hope you do well. We're happy for you to be getting an opportunity in college, and we're looking forward to what's coming up.
I know that you're probably not going to miss me nagging you every day, asking you where's your homework, clean your room. I know those are things we're going to miss, but I know that I always tell my friends the chapter in the book of parenthood, it ends on chapter 12, which is the year they graduate from high school. So I wish you the best as you learn and grow, and I just can't wait to see what happens in the next coming years.
I happened to be looking through some things in her room the other day, and she has like her dream board, and she wrote that freshman year of she wanted to go to college and play ball, and she had a breakdown of what she was going to do to be able to accomplish those goals.
I mean, Taylor is one of the hardest working kids I've ever had the privilege of coaching. She's always the first one in the gym, the last one to leave. Her work ethic is contagious to those around her. And then with that, she's just a tremendous young woman of high character.
Taylor, you're going to do big things. You are destined for wonderful things, and we love you.
Taylor, you have made my job as a first-year head coach so much easier by your work ethic, by how hard you go about things. You go about things the right way. You are the first graduating senior of this program, and you help set the tone for this program moving forward. So I am very thankful for you. I know your teammates are very thankful for you, and we wish you the best of luck at Eastern.
Taylor, I love you, baby. I always will. And you've been the greatest daughter a dad could ever ask for.
Putting that together was special, and you see so much passion in it and so much that these kids have accomplished. Just a very prideful moment for me to be able to go through that with these kids, because as I've watched them create who we are as a school and develop the road that we're on for moving forward. So at this point, I would like to introduce the young people that, the 5 seniors that we have signing a National Letter of Intent tonight. First senior, Kaya, will be playing softball for the Fighting Hawks of North Dakota University. Gunnar Cruz. Gunnar will be playing football as a Cougar for Washington State University. Max Callerman. Max Callerman will be playing baseball as a Spartan at the University of Dubuque. Cassidy Riddle. Cassidy will be rowing as a Cougar at Washington State University. Taylor Hall. Taylor Hall will be playing basketball as a Greyhound at Eastern New Mexico University. One last round of applause for these guys. At this point, I want to introduce Jen Johnson, who's the department chair of the counseling department and also works with our NCAA student as a student liaison. Jen is instrumental to assisting our college-bound student athletes and works to ensure that they are prepared for whatever it takes through their athletic and academic journey. Miss Jen Johnson.
Thank you so much. It has been such a wonderful pleasure to be not only a counselor to a couple of these kiddos, but also working with all 5 of these kids as they made their journey into collegiate athletics, and that's really exciting. And I'm super honored that I'm able to speak tonight about these 5 great kids. The NCAA is the governing body for college athletics in Division I, Division II, and Division III programs. They have a high set of standards regarding recruitment, scholarships, and academics. The journey for an athlete to compete in college athletics is difficult. Only about 6% of students actually move from high school into college athletic programs. It takes not only a high level of athletic ability, but also a high academic drive to succeed. Signing their national letter of intent is the culmination of a lot of time, energy, and effort for them and their parents. These 5 students are above average in the requirements set up by the NCAA. The average GPA between these 5 students is 3.8, with the highest being 4.5. This is something to be admired and acknowledged. Like I said before, it has been such fun to watch these students complete part of their dream, and I couldn't be more proud of them all. So congratulations, Taylor, Max, Cassidy, Kaya, and Gunnar, and best of luck as you start your college journey. I didn't cry.
Thank you, Jen. Appreciate that. She's incredibly instrumental in these kids and making sure that they get everything crossed and finished up through their process. So the way this will go is we're going to individually send over a group, each student, they're going to go over and sign on the table, and then they'll come back with their parents as we call them forward. So the first one that we're going to have is please welcome Stephanie Zurich to the stage. As a past collegiate rower from Santa Clara University, she's Cassidy Riddle's rowing coach. Cassidy, please make your way to the table.
I'm Stephanie Hall-Zurich. Thank you, Chris. That you made me cry a little bit right before speaking. Thanks for doing that. So I'm not your typical rower. On a good day, I'm 5'3". I tricked my husband. He's 6'10". I think I told him I was 5'6". I managed to row all 4 years at Santa Clara University. I'm not a typical rower. I'm not someone they look for. They do look for someone like Cassidy Riddle, someone who's a past athlete, broad shoulders, good work ethic, strong, tall, athletic build. Her parents approached me about a year ago, and they said that Cassidy wants to be the first rower to sign from Casteel, and they wanted me to train her. By the way, kudos to Mike and Michelle Riddle. How lucky Cassidy is to have both of them in her corner. Big, big kudos to both of you for raising a wonderful daughter. So Cassidy approached me about training, and I said, yep, I'm at the gym every morning at 4:45. That's about what she said. Oh, God. So she tried that for a little bit with me at 4:45 in the morning, and we settled on quite a few afternoon workouts to get her ready to become a rower. Rowing is like any other sport. Rowing requires a mental ability to get into a suck zone and stay in the suck zone. Anybody who says to me, oh God, I just love being on that rower in the gym, I think it's so fun, I always say, then you're doing it wrong. Because it's a horrible machine. The way that they evaluate rowers is you get on that machine and you do a 2,000 meter piece. And a 2,000 meter piece takes women anywhere between about 7 minutes and 30 seconds to about 8 minutes. And it is a terrible, terrible 7 minutes and 30 seconds of work. I've seen Olympians get off the machine and actually pass out. I've seen collegiate athletes finish the 2,000 meter piece and throw up. So Cassidy was training for that. Learning the technique for rowing isn't as difficult as getting the mental aspect down. So Cassidy trained, and she failed quite a few times to complete the 2,000 meter piece because it's mentally tough. And I watched a girl come back time and time and time again and say, I'm gonna do it. I'm going to complete this. I'm going to become a collegiate rower. So she spent her summer training. She went to Boston. She gave up some time to go to the Mecca of rowing and rowed in Boston over the summer, worked with another coach there, and came back and on her own went up to the gym and posted a 2,000 meter piece that would put most seasoned veterans, including myself, to shame. She posted a great time that made a bunch of D1 schools stand up and take notice. Because of that, she was able to get the attention of Washington State, and they offered her a scholarship that she would be silly to turn down, and I'm so glad that she accepted. They are very lucky to have Cassidy as a rower joining their program. And now that she has learned how to embrace the mental capacity of rowing, we just gotta teach her how to embrace the 5 a.m. workouts. With that, Cassidy, Washington State University is proud to invite you to be part of their rowing program. Please sign your letter of intent.
Congratulations, Cassidy. Next up, please welcome Matt Parashote, head baseball coach at the Casteel baseball program. Max and parents, you guys can hit the signing table.
So Max and I have had a fun journey in 3.5, 4 years. Before we even had a field, we did a camp over at Payne Junior High. I think he was incoming freshman. Came to a couple practices, ran through the camp. Wanted to be a shortstop. Couldn't catch a ground ball. So we had to explore other options and getting his bat into the lineup. And with the game intelligence of wanting to be a shortstop, we decided to move him to catcher. And he was hesitant on it, but embraced it. And as time went on, he's truly my assistant coach on the field. I don't have to do anything ever with him on the field. The bunt defenses, the picks, the holds, anything that comes to the game, he runs the show. My fondest memory of Max is on the video of him throwing a guy out for the first time, because second base was kind of far for him for a while. Still is occasionally. More issues with third base than anything. If you see us play, he struggles throwing to third base after outs. But the state semifinal, or no, state quarterfinal game last year with the walk-off home run to send us to the next round, that was amazing. And going back to that park over at Payne Junior High, if I had to pick one player out of that group that was there, and I think a bunch of them showed up, I'm sure glad you did. So thank you for all the work you've done. Jeff, Debbie, thanks for all that you've done through the years. And Max, the University of Dubuque is proud to invite you to be a part of their baseball program. Please sign your letter of intent. Next up, Coach Doug Hansen, head coach of our softball coach here at Casteel. Kaya, please come to the signing table with your parents.
Well, Kaya, you've come a long ways. Known you since you were 12, and you really progressed since then. Fondest memories, one of the funnest, or I should say, one of the most enlightening things that really exemplifies what a fine young lady you are. Back when you were a freshman, we didn't have a pitcher, so I asked you to pitch. And she just kind of laughed a little bit and said, yeah, sure, I'll try it. And we ended up pitching her against Marcos Niza. That day she had 3 hits, 3 strikeouts, and only 1 hit, and we won 25-1. Kaya is a great young lady. She's always willing to serve and never has a ill feeling about anything, and just always real supportive and just a great young lady. Donna and Paul, you've done a wonderful job. She's a great young lady. And the University of North Dakota is very, very lucky to have her come and play for them. Kaya, sign your letter of intent.
Congratulations, Kaya. You may now head back to your table. Next up, please welcome Dan Trageser, head of our women's basketball program, to the stage. Taylor, family.
So I first met Taylor last summer when she was actually trying out for my club basketball team. And then she never came back for the second day of tryouts. Still a little upset about that. So when I got hired here at Casteel, I knew that I was getting a young woman that could play. I didn't know the type of leader and the type of person that I was getting in Taylor. You saw it on the video. Taylor is one of the hardest working students I've ever had. I have had to physically remove her from the gym on multiple occasions because she will just stay and shoot and work on her craft. We had a game at 1 o'clock today. Taylor got an hour workout in from about 9 to 10 while everyone else was taking their final. She was done. She came in and got shots up. I know she's going to be in there at about 11:15 tomorrow, getting on the gun again and getting shots up before our game at 1 again. So she is a tremendously hard worker. Along with that, she's a tremendous leader and a tremendous person of character. And she's been the one constant in the women's basketball program here for 4 years. She's had 4 coaches. She's the only senior. So Taylor, you have built the culture that is the women's basketball program. And that's crazy to think about everything that she's had to go through. 4 different coaches, learning 4 different styles of offense, defense, being the only senior. And she leads in a way that few do. So it's made my job as a first-year coach tremendously easy because of all the things that I can just put on Taylor and trust her to do. We had a game down in Tucson last week, and I was talking to a reporter before the game, and he asked me, he said, "Coach, if you had one player," and he didn't even have to finish the question, I knew what it was. "If you had one player that you could have 12 of, who would it be?" And I said, 31, Taylor Hall. You don't even need to finish the question. She's that type of player. Her coaches were here last night. They surprised her, and they were asking a little bit about her, and I told them the same thing. Whatever your culture is at Eastern New Mexico, it's going to get better when Taylor's there. So I've only had the privilege of having you for 12 games so far, and I'm looking forward for about 13 to 19 more, hopefully, depending on what happens in February. Congratulations. Taylor, Eastern New Mexico is proud to have you as part of their women's basketball program. Sign your letter of intent.
Congratulations, Taylor. Sorry we couldn't have all your coaches here. And finally, please welcome Coach Bobby Newcomb, head football coach. Gunnar, please go to the signing table with your parents. You know, it's really humbling to be up here to speak for Gunnar and the Cruz family. I mean, Gunnar's had so many great influences in his life that have helped him along the way, from, you know, Miss Lundberg to Coach Stowers, and obviously his mom and dad, Tex and Amy, countless teachers in the school here and coaches that he's had from youth, even in high school. So we're just really grateful for that and really thankful for all the support he's had, and really honored to be able to speak to it. Gunnar the student, Gunnar the athlete, Gunnar the citizen. All of the above, amazing. Gunnar the student obviously does really great in classes. He focuses in, he has attention to detail, does all his homework, gets great grades. But one thing that stood out to me the most over the last couple of years in knowing Gunnar was a little story that I heard with one of my 7th grade students a couple years ago. He was in the bathroom crying on the ground, having a really rough day. Things weren't going very, very well for him. As he's walking out of the bathroom, he's on the ground, and this big, tall athlete walks over, helps him off the ground, and he says, "Are you okay? Is somebody bothering you?" And the kid looks up and sees it's Gunnar Cruz. Face lights up. That kid never forgot that. He said something to me, said something to his counselor, and that stood out to that kid for the rest of that year. Okay, that's the kind of student he was. That's the kind of impact he had in the school. Gunnar the athlete, so many things he can do. We started joking that his nickname was Dual Threat at one point. And people were laughing at him. I said, no, that's the true story. This kid can do a lot of different things. He's a 3-sport competitive athlete. You know, and so I told Gunnar, I said, you got a lot of skill. You can run, you can throw, and you can even pooch punt a couple times. So he can do a lot of different things. He's an amazing athlete all across the board. But one thing, Gunnar the athlete, and why he's going to excel at the next level is I gave him some extra work this year because I wanted to dive into him a little bit more. He needed to be fed deeper in the game of football because he was yearning for it a little bit. So I had him fill out some worksheets before each game prep. And we met 7 a.m. multiple mornings. And the type of athlete that Washington State is getting is a young man who is not only able but willing to come in early in the morning, stay late at night, watch the film, do whatever extra work is necessary to prepare his mind, his heart, and his body to put his team in the best position possibly successful. He proved that time and time again. He's open to it, he's coachable, and he keeps on proving it over and over again. Gunnar the citizen, what you need to know is you're getting somebody that's not only a quarterback, and remember, there's greater responsibilities for a quarterback than there are any other position in the field. They have to be a leader not only on the team, but also in the community and in the school that they're a part of. They're the face of the program. Gunnar's been the face of Casteel football for 4 years, and he's done a great job of that. Been consistent, been demonstrating the values that we look for in our young men. He's demonstrated the behavior not only in the classroom, outside of it, but we did some community service projects as a team, and Gunnar was not only participating in that, but he was right up front. We painted some houses one time. He's up on ladders, getting up high, and maybe nervous a couple of times because we're right in the middle of the season, and he's up on a ladder trying to get to the top of the roof. So I sent some guys over to pull him off that doggone ladder because we still have a few more games left to go. And he says, but coach, you know, just committed to the task at hand. That's Gunnar Cruz, leading by example out in front. Gunnar, we are so glad that you've been a part of Casteel High School, that you chose to make this part of your path. Thank you for not only being a great football player, but great student, great athlete, great citizen in our community. Text Amy, thank you for raising such a wonderful person. That's what we yearn for as coaches, as parents, to put our kids in the position you were able to put Gunnar in today. So not only are we proud of Gunnar Cruz, but we look up to you as parents for the success you've had with your son. Gunnar, Washington State is proud to invite you to be part of their football program, and very lucky. Please sign your letter of intent. Congratulations, Gunnar. Before we conclude, I just want to say that I'm so proud from my position of all you guys and what you've done for our school. Thank you very much and good luck. You guys all have incredible futures ahead of you. Thank you, Camille, for being here today. Dr. Casteel is here with us, with your family. Thank you, Frank Fletcher, for being here to be a part of our first day. I want to thank John Lamond for live streaming, putting together the video, and some of the things that he's done behind the scenes. Rachel O'Brien from the Career Center, who did countless hours of work making sure that we had the right colored balloons, the hats, the pennants, and all those things. Miss Johnson for the hours that you put in to make sure that they were prepared for this moment. Mr. Faria, who you guys will meet up, well, not he won't be here, but the cookies are out there that he made. I want to thank him for that as well. Our coaches and parents for being a part of the process and being a part of getting these kids to this, to this pinnacle that they're at today as they move forward into their futures. And finally, again, to reiterate, Miss Jen Pugh, how you put this thing together today. Thank you very much for always making me look good. It's not easy, I know that. So, thank you guys. Congratulations. There'll be pictures. We'll have the front for pictures if you want to bring family and whatnot. There's also in the lobby another station where they can take pictures as well. Congratulations and good luck, everybody. Thank you, everyone.